And now we have our three guests, three panelists. Mr. John Shem from McGinley, Cree Trappers Association, newly elected. Is it? There's an elections or an appointment?
No, appointed.
Okay. Congratulations, John. And Dale Cooper from Chibukmo, right? From Kaneka, the Cree Native Arts and Crafts Association. And we have Robin McGinley from the Coda Cree Outfitting Tourism Association. And these are the three people that are very instrumental to make this event happen. And I want to have each one of them introduce themselves. John, go first. Yeah.
Waja. John Shem is in the Gashon, the Nochinis, what Max Dutch. Jagged Kuchuarbik Jihaga introducer hit, which is across the street where I'm from. Kuchuarbik. And the work I'm doing. I'm just going to go back and forth with my language. I'm more comfortable with Cree. So if I get lost in my sense of point of view, it's going to be Cree. Keep me grounded. Where I'm from, I work for the CTA at the regional level, which is an entity under Section 28, along with my brother and sister entities, Coda and Kaneka. So what we do with at the regional level is we support the work of the trappers that are out there, hunters, fishers, gatherers that harvest. So the work that we're doing, we're carrying over what has been there for since 1978 when this entity was created, incorporated under the Canada Corporations Act, Part 2, and later on it was moved under the Not-for-Profit Act. So it transitioned to nonprofit. Then there are several agreements, as I mentioned, the work that we have to do, which is Section 24 of the treaty, the James Bay Northern Quebec Agreement, in which we have to work with the Taliban. And within that section, they created the work of the Taliban and the trapline system that's there. So our work revolves around the Section 24. Moreover, under another treaty that was signed by our leaders, the EMR, EU Marine Region Land Claims Agreement, we work with the local communities because in that section, it specifies where local CTAs can be created under that more recent treaty that we had. So we're very linked with the local communities because we employ local CTA administrators. I was very lucky to talk to one of them earlier, one of the first administrators here. He's over there. He's no stranger what I'm talking about. So the work is very, very important because, especially when I mentioned the EMR, we have to work with the Inuit because there are overlaps of the agreement itself between the Inuit, who are our relatives in that agreement. So that's, in a nutshell, this is my introduction, but later on I wanted to throw it over.
Yeah. Thank you, John. My name is Dale Cooper. I'm the Executive Director of Cree Native Arts and Crafts Association. So what we do is we actually assist artists, with professional development, but we also have programs and services. We have a sponsorship program. We also do workshops as well, just so that they don't forget where their culture comes from. If you look at, ancient civilizations, the one thing that always really stands out, stands the test of time is their artwork. And I think with the Crees, it's the same thing. It's a lot of these arts and crafts have been passed down from generation to generation for centuries. And as an organization under Kanaka, short for Cree Native Arts and Crafts, we're here to help those artists, but also to educate them. And when you look at our organizations, with Cree Trappers Association, as well as Cree Outfitting and Tourism Association, when the JBNQA was being drafted, the leaders had looked at these three organizations as a way for us to be connected. When you look at our organizations, we tend to complement each other in a way where Cree Trappers Association can provide raw materials, for the artists at Kanaka, while Coda can also promote the region and the experience of EUSG as well. So we're very proud to be here today to showcase our artists. A lot of the artists you've seen today are actually Kanaka artists. And we do try to encourage them and provide opportunities for them. And another thing too worth mentioning is we are going to start, we have been starting to go towards protecting our copyright and our intellectual property. I believe that it's a very important thing when it comes to traditional knowledge. Technically, traditional knowledge falls under public domain, under the Canadian copyright law. So this is where, as Crees, we tend to share, what we know and what we learn, and we pass it down. And, we don't really adhere to those laws, the way, I guess, Canada would, so, or any other indigenous nation doesn't follow those laws. So for one of my, I guess, passions is to educate our artists about that, and to also have them understand that they do have rights, and they should protect their knowledge as well. So, I'm gonna pass it on to Robin over here.
Robin McGinley, So I was looking, today I realized it was December 7th, and it's actually Coda's 24th birthday. So it's been my pleasure to be the executive director since the beginning, and I wanted to share a little bit about Coda and the creation of Coda. Again, we are so fortunate as a tourism association to have been in the James Bay Northern Quebec Agreement. I think we're probably one of the very few, if not the only, Indigenous tourism association protected by a treaty. And that really gives us the tools to work with our communities, with our tallymen, with our artists, with our tour operators to promote the beautiful region of the USG. So we're always thankful for that. And so 25 years ago, I was tasked with working with the different communities to take what was in the James Bay Agreement, which was really to provide marketing, booking, professional services, like the small chapter, 28.4 and 28.6, and to take that and to make the incorporation and to make the action plan. And so what we did is right away we turned towards the communities, and we had representatives from all the communities. We had the Cree Trappers, and we had the cultural coordinators, and if the communities had tourism officers, we brought everybody together, and we developed the mission of the organization, which I think is still relevant today, because we hear all the time in the news like sustainability and how Dr. Matthew Kunkam was saying, like back in the 80s we were talking about renewable energy. Well, in, I guess, 1999, we were talking about we wanted to create a world-class sustainable tourism destination for USG. So, and we are continuing down that path, hopefully with Green Step, going forward. And so I think it's just really important to how much our organizations, that we include the different stakeholders, that we work with them, and that we take the tools that we've been given by our leaders and by our agreements, and that we try to create programs and services that can help. So whether it's attending trade shows, inviting our members to come with us, we do lots and lots of training programs, tourism training programs. We did an online one with UCAT so that people could do tourism business management. So it's really to build up our communities and then share it with the world. So I've been fortunate. It's my passion, obviously, and it's not really a job. It's really just a love of my life, I think. So it's wonderful. I enjoy it.
Thank you. One of the discussions that we had earlier was there was some misconceptions or some myths surrounding our area, especially when you're talking about tourism. One of those myths was, it says here, there is no cell phone service in our Cree communities. It's one of the myths, but it says here, no, not true. The Cree even own their own EU communications network. That's what it's called, eh? EU communication. Okay, yeah. And another one was, what about the temperature? A lot of people think it's always cold. No, it can get hot, really, really hot in the summer times. But we saw that last year with the climate change happening, so it was really, really hot, especially with the forest fires. And another one here, it says, you can't drive here. There is no road. Iyo-Isti is a 6-hour drive from Quebec City, and all the communities are connected except for one. That's your community. Soon, hopefully. I hope not, Chiquit. So have each panelist talk about future plans. So you and I talked earlier. We sat at the table and you mentioned something about now where the Cree Trappers Association is working more with the Cree School Board now. You had a college in a program in Skaginish, right?
Yeah. Now you mentioned it. One of the mandates of the CTA, Cree Trappers Association, is to sustain the organization, not only sustain it, but pass on that knowledge that our elders had even before the agreement that we have. So it's the knowledge and our customs, traditions, our values are very, very important for our future generations to have, not to lose it, because right now there's a stress on our language. So what we've done is we've approached the school board who has that mandate, and they helped us to navigate, to work with the CEGEP there in Saint-Félicien that has that land-based education component. And it was the help of our tallymen, the leadership, and the will to work together. So these are opportunities right now that are opening up. And there's so much more that we could do because we have so much resources now within the Cree Nation, as well as the territory that's waiting for us to be out there. The land base that we have to have and promote our youth to be on that land, because it's wildlife sustainability, and which is part of our mandate, is to make sure that the wildlife exists for future generations. It's, as Robin had mentioned, sustainability is a key word. So at the local level and at the regional level, for example, we work with the Cree Nation government to make sure that we address our concerns if it has to do with Quebec or at the national level. So it works through the Hunting, Fishing, and Trapping Coordinating Committee to voice its concerns. If there's laws that have to be changed, that's the level where they negotiate. So CTA is part of the whole process as well. So we're right in the mix of voicing our concerns.
Thank you. You mentioned Wajia. It was newly opened in Old Montreal. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Wajia store is actually a store that was opened way back in the 90s. It was in Val-d'Or, I believe. And unfortunately, it got shut down. And the project came over to Kanaka. You know, the store itself is actually a store in which we purchase our arts and crafts from our members, and we also promote them through the store, promote their work, talk about their stories, as well as you know, sell their work. And it's sort of a non-profit business. You know, we're mostly in it to promote the artist as much as possible. So we had recently opened up an online version of the store, which was last year. And this year, actually, just this August, we opened up a physical location in Old Montreal. So it's at 79 Rue St. Paul East in Old Montreal. You guys can find us on Google or social media like Facebook and Instagram, you know, if you want more information. Or you can also go shop at wajia.com. That's WACHIYA.com. So we're very excited about it, and you know, the artists are very happy to see their work being displayed in a retail setting, and yeah, we hope to keep doing our work and promote them as much as possible.
Awesome, thank you. Robin, anything wanna add to that, or?
Sure. I can say that I was fortunate to be invited to the grand opening, and the store is stunning. The artwork and everything is just beautiful. And we work together a lot, the three entities. We had a MOU, it dates back, I would say probably at least 15 years. And I think it was, again, a visionary, our leaders, I think they were really holistic when they thought about economic development, because the three, you know, the trappers, the arts, and tourism, it goes back to the theme of this whole event, is that how important the land is and the connection between the land. This is land and economic development. So, like, it's all really connected. And I just wanted to really I'm so impressed with everything that we've seen. So, and I wanted to highlight the fact, like the Odayak and the story of the Odayak. Well, if you visit Ujabugamu and you come to the Cree Cultural Institute, it's actually right on the other side of this wall. So you can plan your trip and you can see for real the Odayak. I think there was questions about the land-based activities, and that, you know, that the activities that you guys are doing are more for the community. But there's also Nuchimi Winu, which is David and Anna Bosom, who are, I mean, the most amazing teachers, ambassadors of Cree culture, and they have a tourism business just down the road on the way into Jabugmu that they welcome visitors from all over the world. So. And the last, I mean, I could talk forever about all of our beautiful businesses, but we have Winnipeg Tours as well. Which is a solidarity co-op, and it's actually made up of the Cree captains who went through all of their, you know, they had all of their knowledge and they grew up on the water. They also went the further step to get all of the certifications, the SVOP training. Often many of them are tallymen or land users, so they have their sons too. So to me, it's like the model of passing the information down. So the older captains have their sons come with them. And it's really an amazing organization. And if you look on our website, you can see they have tours out of Waskaganish and out of Wemidji. And you have a chance to go see that some of the islands are amazing. James Bay is like I don't know, it's a paradise. And you may see belugas, you may see the polar bears, and you'll have an amazing time with some of the nicest people in the whole wide world. Our captains are amazing and very, very dedicated. So I think there's a whole world to discover in USG, and yeah, we're not that far away. So
you might see John Shem out on the bay. He's always out there. All right, thank you, Christine. Is there any questions, comments on the web?
There's one last thing I want to mention. It totally slipped my mind. In 2009. Our elders had devised a tool that we could use on the trap line, which is what it's called is Ndohu Wishuon Ayuyimnanaj. And it's hunting law, or you could call it the code. Because that's how self-governance is all about. You have to create your own codes or laws. You know, it started back in 2009. And then this tool particularly is used by the tallyman as a guide especially if there's a conflict within the communities between the Taliban or the trap line borders. So that tool outlines the process, which is the conflict resolution process, and as well, we do it internally. We don't want to get lawyers involved in our affairs. So that tool, some communities, I know Mistissini, Waswanipi had developed their own process, but they use that EU hunting law as a guide, so which is very, very important as well. So just bear in mind we're implementing the EU hunting law, or Dohu Ishuan.
All right, thank you. All right, that's good info. Thank you, John. Steve, comments from our viewers?
Yes, thank you very much, Wayne, and thank you to your panelists. Going back to our, there was an elder that was mentioning, we say Kanaka, so he said it's supposed to be Krinaka. So just a clarification on that. So miigwech to the elder that came to see me on that. Comments from our viewers from Atskimeg Nation, Wajek. Thank you for joining us, and it's beautiful to know that they too are doing kind of similar things. You know, like trying to preserve the language and the culture. You know, with their young people. So kudos to you. We have viewers. We have a viewer here, Claudia. Wajia, greetings, Claudia, and who's been watching this virtual festival. And she says it's beautiful to see all the Cree art. It's so rich, which it is. Thank you for sharing. And she says, I will come and visit Iuwishi this summer. So we're looking forward to seeing you and having you in Iuwishi, Claudia. And also encouraging and reminding us to continue to take care of our land, our language, our cultural practices, our stories, our healing medicines, our food, and all our teachings, our people, and to continue bringing this into the classrooms too as well. So there's a lot of great feedback from you know, from our viewers, and we have many viewers, like I said, overseas, you know, across Canada, in our province too as well, north, south, east, west. So thank you for joining us. So back to you, Wayne.
Thank you, Christine. I want to thank again the panelists, Robin, Dale, and John. Thank you for your, you know, all this event. You made it all happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.